Here I am. Gonna show you guys something. Here we are at Santa Cruz Way and 4th Avenue. Try to see where is the sign. There it is, right there. Santa Cruz and 4th Avenue, Oak Park. And it was maybe a month and a couple weeks, maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, we had a storm that came through and blew down some really big redwood trees. You can see, I'll show you where the sidewalk is torn up, but there's sawdust and all kind of stuff there. Now you can see where the sun is in a bad spot to make this video, but it is still everything in a big pile. And you see, the problem with this is the pile is still here. You can see where the roof is gone and the apartment is gone, the walls are gone, because it's still just sitting here, right, in a big pile. Well, this is the third apartment on this side of the project, and then there's the other side of the project, which is over there through the park. You can see the single stories. Yeah, that one all the way on the end is vacant. There are homeless people stacked up living in tents on the sidewalk around this city. But you have criminals in charge of the public housing. And see, they're too busy stealing money from HUD to give a shit, or to have the money to fix up what's broken. And so while people are homeless, you have a complex here where there's 3 apartments on this side. One is empty, one had a fire, they're not fixing it up. This one had a tree fall on it, they're not fixing it up. The one over there, the lady moved out of because, well, her daughter left because the lady got shot in the parking lot. The gangbangers. They kept her in the hospital for a year, I think, and before she died. Here's the sidewalks piled up. Right there. So, I mean, can you tell this place is run by criminals? Where's the building code inspector and the code enforcement people? Where are they at? They're busy riding around giving homeowners tickets for having their grass too long. But the city can leave a pile of garbage here indefinitely. You see? No penalty. And you can hear a lawnmower going in the background because I took a trip driving around the other day and I saw no less than 6 in building inspector trucks. Well, it's an army going out to ticket people for having their grass too long. And I'll say it again, from my calculation, these criminals that have been running this Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment Authority are stealing about $5 million every month from the feds, from the federal HUD, Housing and Urban Development. You see? Everything's run by criminals here. So this is why, one of the reasons why Sacrament City, California, has got people living in tents on the sidewalk. And what do they want to do? They want to build tiny houses. They want to build tiny houses to put people. Why don't the criminals who are getting all the money from the feds to operate, housing for low income? Why, you see why they can't rehab buildings and turn them into low income housing? Because every time they build the housing, what do? They bring their relatives from the Bay Area and all these expensive places. They bring them here and give them the low income part. And so it's only 1/3 of it gets to be low income and the rest is market rate. That's why you have homeless stacking up in tents on the sidewalk in Sacrament City. Because they bring their relatives and friends to the top of the list whenever a project comes available. This is a reason why there's no affordable housing to relieve the homeless situation here in Sacrament City. I haven't done a check myself on who it was that they moved into the art project called Wall, WAL, that they made down in a redevelopment zone, right on the light rail, right where they got all the shops and the restaurants and the funky places to go eat, and the second Saturday art walk and all that garbage. But I guarantee you, if I go and look, because that whole project is for low-income artists, and they have a gallery on the first floor and all. I read all about it. But when I found out about it, and I was homeless at the time, I found out about it when it was already full. And then there was a big long waiting list. And if you could believe the way the man spoke to me, who I called to ask questions of him, about the property, you can believe the superiority complex that dude had with me. And because I was saying, well, why couldn't someone else make, the similar kind of project? And he's like, oh, well, you have to have so many $1 million. And okay, well, you just told me, dude, that this is all an inside job. You had a whole building with art facilities, and you brought people, you imported people from other cities in California and gave the apartment building to people who came from other cities. Okay, because I did not even hear about it, and I was living in that van. I was living in my van at the time, and I was trying to get services, trying to sign up for things. I was on the list for this complex here over 10 years. Then they called me and said, oh, well, you got a spot on the waiting list for you. I thought I was on the waiting list for 10 years. No, I was on a list to get on the waiting list over 10 years. And this unit came up, and I'll tell you the reason why I got this unit. Now, I've never seen one person move in here since I moved in 3 years ago. The only reason they gave me this unit is because you can see where you're driving past on the Broadway. You can see if somebody's moving out. So this lady thought, we better call these people because they might see that we're moving someone out. Somebody probably died that lived in that apartment. And they said, oh, because I had been there like 4 different times while I was homeless, walking in the office, public office, walking in and saying, you need to check and make sure you see my name on that list. Because it seemed like I'm waiting an awfully long time for an apartment. And this is a list where it's just for this complex. So if you wanted to get on a list for other apartments, you would have to apply and get on that list. So of all the housing that the city runs, you have to apply to get on each one. And we're basically trapped here. There's no portable voucher. There's no way to get out of here. So if you get kicked out or if you move out or whatever, you got to go back to, square one again. So other projects that I've stayed in the city, they were vouchers. And after you're there a certain amount of time, the vouchers become portable. But any housing that the city owns is called city housing, like this place right here, that they have 1, 2, 3, 4 empty apartments, and one of them is just vacant. 2 of them are just vacant. 2 of them are damaged. But nobody's making moves to repair the work that's done. And why did they fix this apartment and when the guy moved out and now nobody's moving in? One of the other tenants said she asked to if she could, move into that apartment because her apartment's probably all jacked up like ours is. And they told her no because there's a waiting list for it. Really? Well, where's the people? That apartment's been empty for months. Both of these apartments been empty for months. That lady that got shot was in the hospital for a year. That apartment's been vacant over a year. And I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that I put up before, but you see me driving by homeless tents, people living in tents on the sidewalk. This is a disgusting mess, And so, this is what I heard. The lady, Denisha Dyson, who was, obviously she was some kind of a, what do you call those? Blue Lodge, I don't know what the Eastern Star, whatever, sorority sister. Down there telling me, if I didn't want to sign the contract that said, had a date missing, or a month missing. It was supposed to say, on the first day of blank and put a month, you'll get your recertification. Well, they had me sign one that had a blank there. So basically I signed a contract that said I'm never going to get recertification again. So is that what the deal is going on? That person, supposedly they've been arrested now for stealing money. Well, I could have told them that. I told them that. I made my report to the Investigator General of California and said these people are violating all the rules here for public housing. So now they supposedly got a new lady. She's going to fix it all. But see, I can't get a job here. I can't buy a job interview. No. The whole place is run by criminals. So, you guys check out my Telegram channel, Galileo0723. You can do a search for me if you're interested in subbing on my alt news channel on Telegram, which is not censored like FluffTube here. Go ahead and look me up. Make a comment on this video. Hopefully I can upload it to FluffTube. Hopefully I'm off restriction now with the bullshit. Alright, you guys have a good day. Be blessed.